morning to everybody. Hold on, I was just going to retweet the start of the show. Okay, let me just do that real fast. And we're done. What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. How's my family doing? How's everybody doing here on this Thursday? Hoping everybody's doing good. Hope you're looking good, feeling good, smelling good. Hope you got to work good, breakfast good, everything good. Oh, it's good to talk to everybody here at the Old Fashioned Sports Show. I am your host, Anwar Richardson. Let's go, baby. I see you, LFG. I see everybody that's there in the chat. I've got a good show, fun show planned for everybody today as you guys start to file in and come on in. Please make sure you do something. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Help a brother out. That would be fantastic if you could do that. Thank you to everyone. Good morning to everybody who's here in the chat because today's going to be one of them days. Because I'm going to have my main man, Kyle Henderson, on the show in the next 30 minutes. Because there's a question that we all want asked. And I want to know. And it looks bad from afar. But I just need someone who's got boots on the ground. It's a simple question. Is the Alabama football program burning in front of our eyes? That's the question that I want to know. That's the question that you want to know. And it don't look good. It look like you gotta have the firemen coming over. What was that? Which babies did the fireman song? Was it Da Baby? I don't think it was Lil Baby. It was Lil Baby. I don't know. One of them babies did a little fireman song. Called a fireman. Get him out, right? You need a fireman. I think in Tuscaloosa. So we'll see. I got some questions for Kyle. I got some questions for him. Look like everybody in the transfer portal. It looked like Saban just set that thing on fire. It looked like there was a lack of leadership from the Alabama standpoint as far as not having a successor. It looks like that. Now, Guillermo 58, I'm talking about the fireman song. It's one of the babies. I know you were talking about it's the fireman, but there's another one by one of them babies. I just don't know the difference between the shorter one, stocky one, who always flosses his money on Instagram and stuff. But anyway, we're going to have that one in a few minutes. And let's get to everybody who's here in the chat real quick. My main man DC, Dale Coleman, is in the house. Chris Bennett, CB, the original OG of Superfans, is in the house. Here we go, Horns. I won't mess it up this time. Love that we're bringing in talent in the secondary, but shouldn't our focus be on the D-line, especially with us entering the SEC? The answer is yes and yes. Just a dude who says holding a grudge is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. I don't know. I hold on to my grudges, just a dude. I hear what you're saying, but I hold on to mine pretty good. And I feel pretty good about it. It don't matter to me. I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. My memory too long for that one. Text guy 2, good morning to you. My main man Doug G, good morning to you. We're gonna talk about the basketball team in a second. My main man Rodolfo, where's your popcorn, my man? Just another fragrance reviewer is in the house. Chris Nelson says, so glad I have the Horns to keep me off the Cowboys ledge. Boy, looky here. Boy, looky here. And what Chris, what are they gonna do? Just gonna run it back, huh? That's what they're gonna do. They're just gonna run it back. Hey, why not? And why not just run it back and build up everybody's hopes in the offseason and just do the definition of insanity? I feel for you, man. I don't know how you guys are Cowboys fans. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how y'all do that year in and year out. I honestly would just quit. I would just quit. But I know you can't do it as a fan. But, boy, I don't know how you guys do that. I'm just being honest with you. I feel bad for all of y'all. Robert of Bobby and Whitney is in here. And you're right about this basketball season. Uncle Mickey is in here. Sandman 23 is in here. C. Jennings is in the house. My main man, Corleone. The OG, the gangster, is in the house. Pet Rooster is in here. Trip on two wheels. Woohoo! To you too. LFG, I saw you. Hey, from the NYC. Oh man, where you going in the NYC, LFG? Where are you going in the NYC? Are you just visiting, or you got something? I'm thinking about going. I might go. I'd like to go to New York around July 4th. It's really, really cool. I've actually gone to see the Nathan's hot dog eating contest in person because I wanted to go see it. So I've actually gone out there. This was a while ago. So but I did see Joey Chestnut win. I know I don't want to gross you guys out, but anyway, I did see that thing that was out there, and I did actually enjoy it. DJ Mark is in the house. He said it's all good in the hood. All right. Guillermo 58 is in here. Catherine, good morning to you, is in here. Tracy Williams. How can we call you Unc when you start on time? Don't worry about it, Trace. Don't worry about it, Trace. That was just today. Just give me give me a little bit more time. Call me Unc because you know I got that yak. That's how you call me Unc. See you at the barbecue, nephew. Money B, we in the building. Rodolfo says, what did you say? God is good. Worthy is still waiting wide open. That's pretty funny, actually. Brandon A's in here. ATX Big Rich is in here. I think I mentioned you, Guillermo 58. But yeah, I got a burner account. I got AQWKC6. I don't know what kind of burner this is. What is this? But he said Bama will never, he or she says Bama will never be the same. Sark After Dark is in here. Miguel at Hell DS is in here. Theo Baricio, the stinking of the USS Alabama. Oh man. Now that's kind of funny. It's sparking an investigation. That spotlight going to shine on the shenanigans too. I feel you on that one. Let me just get to the rest of the people in the chat. I'm telling you, we're going to have a good time today. Frank Cruz is in here. My main man Kiki is in the house. RFS. Ryan and Amanda Fontaine. I was like, what in the world? That's my dude, Ryan. That's my dude from Cedar Park. Neighbor. My neighbor over there, Ryan. Yeah, man, I appreciate you. Tampa's in the house. You see the Bucks thing in the house there? I'm conflicted, Ryan, because you know I don't really like Baker Mayfield, but I like the success of the Bucks. So it's really Ryan's kind of a huge issue for me at this moment. I don't know what to really do, but I gotta kind of ride, but I'm just like. Shout out to you, Ryan. Someone was telling me about the Sting organization the other day. They was like, you need to switch your son over to there. I was like, well, we'll see. We'll see. JD's in here. Montgomery Flores is in the house. I'm glad to see Ryan's in here. Gabe Lock Tex is in the house. Who else we got? Yeah, the baby. Shake something. There you go. It was the baby. Shake something. All right, thank you. I don't know, I can't keep up with your stuff. I like the rhythm though. He's very clever. But all his things kind of sound alike though. But he's really good at what he does. But they all kind of start to sound similar, you know. Like he's got to switch the flow every once in a while. Brandon A, being a Cowboys fan ain't for the faint of heart. Ain't that the truth? I don't know how you guys do it. And Kevin M is Kevin H actually is in the house. And speaking of in the house. This show was brought to you by our main man, El Presidente Eric Torres. He's always speaking of houses. If you're looking for a home in the DFW area, you don't have to look any further than Eric Sells Homes DFW. Looking to buy, looking to sell, whatever it is, he's got you covered. It's January. You're starting to think about what you're going to do. Kids are going to be out of school soon enough. I'm starting to think about what I'm going to do this summer. Like that's where we at, right? My man Ryan to tell you, he's already making his plans. He's starting to think about, hey, we got once travel ball is over, where we're going to travel to. We're going to go down to Florida. We're going to do this kind of stuff. All this thing is coming fast. And you're thinking about maybe buying yourself a home or selling a home. Start the groundwork now. Eric Sells Homes DFW makes buying and selling easy. He's El Presidente. Man, I'll bring him in tomorrow and wrap up the season for a little bit. Maybe we'll have a fun Friday and I'm bringing El Presidente. Sounds like a good idea. I mean, I just talked myself into it. Eric Sells Homes DFW. Make sure you look him up. Hook him up. There you go. All right, so let's talk about Sandman 23. Sandman 23. Let me tell you something, Sandman. You and I, and basically all of y'all who are in here today, we are all on the same wavelength right now. Sandman 23. Man, I would give you a bro hug right now because you're right where I want to be. Let's go to it. Aaron's got the video. Okay, let's recap. Now, for those who missed it, Texas lost to UCF last night. Okay, and Rodney Terry is seen in video, kind of mouthing off, kind of going after a player. Not like he's going to swing on him, but he was definitely agitated and definitely mad and making his presence be felt after the loss. So, of course, what happens is that people ask Rodney, Coach Terry's, about that and everything that happened. Blake has got, I think I said Aaron by accident. I think I was so used to saying Aaron. Blake has got the video. Blake, go ahead and play it for everybody. I'll take myself off if you need.
You know, I'm a big believer in, you win the right way, you lose the right way. And, I always tell my guys, whether you win or lose, you win the right way. You lose the right way. You carry yourself the right way. You don't go through the handshake line or prior to getting to the handshake line and have about 6 or 7 guys putting the horns down. We don't do that, because when you do those kind of things, it looks very classless, and it also looks like you were just hoping to win. We never go into games trying to hope to win. We go into games expecting to win. So we don't act like that. We expect to win. We don't jump up and down like we won a national championship. We sure don't step on anyone's home court deal and act crazy and try to show them up in any way. We don't do that. So that's what I was angry about. And I was letting those guys know you don't do that. You guys won. Hey, we shake your hand, tip our hat to you, but we're not going to let you act that way in our building. You're not going to do that. You're not going to put your horns down and do all that nonsense.
All right. Let me start by saying I'm kind of like Rodney Terry and different, but I like to see all the programs at Texas win and the programs succeed. I've met Coach Terry. Seems like a nice person. I met some people on their staff. Seemed like good people. So no problems, right? Took my kid to a game earlier this year. We enjoyed it. But I do have an issue with this. And allow me, Coach Terry, to push back on this. I know someone's going to show you this video and that is going to get back to you, and that's okay. That's okay. There's a couple of things I have a little issue with. One, I've been covering this beat and have been around y'all long enough to know that you guys don't get bothered by horns down. It doesn't really bother you. You come to expect it. It just is what it is. You live rent-free in everybody's head, right? So it doesn't matter. Like you see recruits all the time. They're on visits at Texas A&M and Oklahoma and all these other different places and then doing horns down, right? That is just what they do. It's the nature of the beast. You can't really control that, right? So you go into it understanding that it's just going to happen. I remember when people were going to be penalized for like doing horns down. I remember Texas fans saying, that's lame. I remember Texas fans saying that's lame for that. We don't want opposing teams penalized for doing horns down. We're not soft like that. No one wants to be a soft program where you do something like that. It's like, you can't do that. It hurts our feelings because you did a hand gesture. Like, Texas fans don't think like that. Texas fans think to themselves, it is what it is. You hate us because you ain't us. Okay? So it goes with that. And then I have an issue with how Rodney Terry handled it. First of all, I don't want to see a coach going after a player. I don't want to see that, especially a player or players of opposing teams. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're trying to incite a riot that way. You don't do that because you wouldn't want a player from an opposing team getting into your face as a coach, as a man, right? So you don't do that to them, right? I think, first of all, he's out of line. and out of step for what he did as relates to that. Second of all, you can't tell somebody else how to run their program or organization. That's not your call, Coach Terry. And again, you seem like a cool dude. I mean, as a person, right? I don't have problems with you, but it's not up to you to dictate the terms of how UCF is or is not supposed to act or react. That's not your call. That's not your program. If you got a problem with what their players do, then you go to the coach who, by the way, I saw after the game said, hey, that's not what we do. I'm going to review it. If it's discipline or whatever needs to happen, we'll handle it. But he was very complimentary of Coach Terry and the people that he knew on the staff. So it seems like everybody's got a relationship. So it seemed like the relationship is you walk over to the person that you know in your fraternity and say, hey, you guys are doing this kind of out of line. I appreciate it if they just don't do certain kind of things. Approach him as a man, not a young person that you kind of feel like you got some authority over. And I guess the third thing, and this is the most important thing that I would have to say to that whole situation with Coach Terry, and again, with all due respect, and it seems like when people say with all due respect, that they'll somehow disrespect always kind of follows. So I'm going to try to be respectful with all due respect. And just win, man. Like just win the game and it don't matter. That's all. Just win the game. Win it. We don't. Just win. Just beat UCF at home. Just do that. Don't worry about all this other stuff. Just win games. Win games. Stack wins. It's all that really matters. It's all that people really care about. I guarantee you nobody else walked away talking about, oh, man, I can't believe UCF did some horns out. You know what they walked away saying? Damn it, man, we lost another game. That's what's most important to me. So how about this? To Pax's point, don't blow a 15-point lead. All that kind of stuff. Just win the games, man. Stop all this other stuff. What it's starting to look like, and when things like that start to happen, pressure bust pipes. Pressure busts a pipe. And so when a person's starting to feel like they may be under a little bit of pressure, all of a sudden you see that kind of snap, react, like all that kind of stuff, you know? Something that's like maybe building or simmering from the inside, right? So all I got to say is, when it's all said and done, Coach, just win your games, man. Just win your games. But that's all anybody cares about. You got to win more. You just got to win more. But you seem like you're getting pressured. Seem like you're getting agitated. Kind of an embarrassing moment for you. Not the end of the world. And again, I say this with all due respect. But we family. And I'm not going to withhold my opinion from anybody when it's all said and done. Anyway, Coach, hope you can handle that thing a little bit differently. Tyler Feldman from KView had that video that we were able to use. So I want to make sure that I give Tyler Feldman the credit that he absolutely deserves for it. Blake, let's do this. Let's do a quick break, and then we'll do specs afterwards. And then when we come back, we're gonna do the setup. We got a setup for my conversation that we're gonna have with Kyle Henderson from that YouTube Bama channel. Because the question really is Alabama burning in front of our eyes? Is the kingdom crumbling? Is what we got to know. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the video with your friends, and we will be right back.
You want to experience the edge of innovation, the power of performance? Look no further. Introducing the 2023 Ford Edge. Equipped with cutting-edge technology and unparalleled safety features, experience the comfort of the spacious interior and the thrill of its powerful performance. Visit our dealership today or coverford.com. The all-new 2023 Ford Edge. It's not just a ride, it's a journey.
No matter what you're needing, Specs same-day delivery can save the day with our Specs app or online shopping. From world-class wines to hard-to-find spirits and craft beers to gourmet foods, delicious snacks, and spectacular sweets. It's Specs. Cheers to savings.
Hey, Blake, at least you put that in the right order, because you went from car to like specs. And I'm glad you didn't do from specs to car, right? Because that would have been worse. What a way to crash a Ford Edge, right? I went to specs, and then I got into my Ford Edge from Covert, and I crashed that thing because I had too much from specs. So I'm glad you did it in the right order. go out, go to Covert, go get your car, and then go to Specs, and then go home. Just like, yeah, Money B. I guess for Covert Ford has been a partner with Orange Bloods for a while, so we could do that. That's kind of cool. Anyway, like I said, my main man is going to be in here real quickly. Just I'm going to go through two quick things before I set it up. By the way, South Alabama reportedly is close to finalizing a deal to hire Major Applewhite as the school's next coach. All I gotta say is this. To every South Alabama player who's out there, just all you South Alabama players, I don't even know what your nickname is. I'm sorry, I should. One day I will. It's not trivia questions, not trivia show, so I don't have to know. But it's the South Alabama whatevers. Everybody on that team. I just want to let you know, when Major Applewhite's your coach, if you're on the sideline and he tells you to take off the coat, take it off, because he's going to try to strip that thing off you. Just ask Ed Oliver. Just if Major Applewhite is on the sideline and your coach Applewhite is like, I need you to take that coat off, just know he will not be happy until that coat comes off. So everybody from South Alabama, whatever your names are, but Major, your new coach, and you're in the game, and he's like, take that coat off. Those are for players, and you're not a player. Just know Ed Oliver will tell you that jacket will need to come off. Hey, USA Today reported something that Texas got a whole lot of money. Woo, love that money, baby. University of Texas athletic programs, always amongst the nation's most financially powerful, again has gone to another level. It just had over $271 million in operating revenue in the 2023 fiscal year, according to its new annual revenue and expense reports to the NCAA. Woo! Love that money, like Ricky Bobby said, right? When he did the prayer. Let's see. By category, Texas' largest year-over-year increases were $11 million in contributions, which rose to nearly $86 million, $10.2 million in money from sponsorship, licenses, royalties, and advertising, which totaled $54.7 million, $5.7 million in ticket sales, which moved them to $63.3 million. Oh, don't tell an Alabama fan that. Oh, no, they're going to be upset. Oh, no, don't let an Alabama fan see that. They already on tilt. They're already upset. And now they're going to see, they look at them. They got money. As y'all can tell, I'm on one today. I'm in one of them moods. I just want to make sure I reported that. And then let me set up the conversation I'm going to have with Kyle Henderson in a minute. He should be here hopefully in 5 minutes. And we can have a conversation about this. I was thinking though, serious for a second. I was thinking about dynasties, right? Because obviously this parallels into the Alabama conversation that we're going to have, right? And so I started thinking about dynasties and iconic dynasties that some of the old heads out here might remember, okay? Somebody like Rodolfo, you may have seen it on 30 for 30, but some of us actually were alive for it. There's some dynasties that precede us, right? Some of the Notre Dame dynasties, some of those teams from way back when, right? Some of those old Nebraska teams, Army teams, right? There's some dynasties from back in the day, right? But things that some of us, Paulo, who are in your 40s or so, kind of remember 40s and above. I start thinking about the Miami dynasty, right? The U, right? How that thing was for such a long period of time in the 80s. Really, it starts with Howard Schnellenberger, right? To Jimmy Johnson, to Dennis Erickson, right? And at that time, the U had, I looked it up, from 1983 to 1991, the Canes record from 83 to 91 was 96-13. Like they were, I mean, on fire as far as how good they were. 96-13 over nearly a 10-year span, right? But then certain things happen, and that dynasty starts to crumble. And the U that we see, the Miami that we see now, is not that Miami that many of us will remember. It's not the Ray Lewis Miami. It's not the Gino Toretta or Vinny Testaverde or Warren Sapp, of course. He would be very insulted if he heard that I put his name fourth on that list. But it wasn't that. You go through all the dynamic running backs and receivers. There's just too many athletes to name, right? But that program, they had an amazing dynasty, then eventually fell off. Some of us are old enough to remember Nebraska. That's for when we were for some of us probably in our younger 20s, right around high school area, whatever your thing was. But that 1995 team that went 12-0. How about from 93 to 97? Nebraska was, listen to this, y'all. From 93 to 97, Nebraska was 60-3. That was the record. They won all 37 conference matchups and 5 Big 8/5 Big 8/Big 12 titles along the way. They had, their margin of victory was 38.7 points per game. Was how they were doing at that point. And so there was obviously, so we got the Nebraska dynasty, and then of course we had the U in that dynasty for a very short period of time. And I say short comparatively speaking, right? We remember that from about 2015 to about 2019, Clemson. We thought that would be the future inevitable dynasty, right? We thought that would be the dynasty that would eventually take off. We saw that, remember that national championship game in 2018? We thought Dabo would be the next person. We kind of looked at it as like Dabo and Saban. Like those would be the two people from a dynasty standpoint. And then Clemson, it's kind of fallen off a little bit. When we say falling off of where we thought they were, okay? And Alabama, for the most part, I think they've been able to hold on to, I would say, what their dynasty has been, right? But I want to tell you that I feel like the first chink in the armor and the first indicator, and this is what I pointed out a couple of years ago, where I felt like this thing may not last. It occurred in May of 2022. And that's when Nick Saban called out Texas A&M for buying its top-ranked recruiting class. And at that point, see, the thing is, I knew that in life, you only talk about the things that really bother you, right? You don't talk about things that don't bother you, right? But if you point that out, and I get it, he was talking to his fan base, he was trying to generate some money, but he knew that this new era, as relates to NIL, was going to be a challenge, would be something to work through, and that this landscape was going to be really, really hard to navigate. And now we've seen the NIL thing that's happened, that's cropped up. We see transfer portal thing that's cropped up, but that's not really where Alabama is. It's not really I would say, the thing that has Alabama where they are. I think where Alabama is where it is, it's just the timing of the Saban announcement. But the big question that we need to get to, the main reason why I'm bringing in Kyle Henderson, is that we are not going to sugarcoat it. Because I love Kyle. That's my brother from another right there. That's my dude right there. But we ain't going to do no BS. This will not be any soft music. This is not going to be smooth jazz, easy listening. We're going to have a heart-to-heart conversation. Because my question is the Alabama dynasty burning in front of our eyes? And so let's go to the Speakeasy Lounge. I'm going to ask Kyle Henderson about that. I'm going to tell you, you were on my show a few weeks ago, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'll probably talk to Kyle maybe at some point, maybe late spring, maybe just get a kind of a check in to see how they did during, spring ball and
Yeah.
things to that effect. Maybe summertime. I just thought we'll just text each other, just kind of chill out or whatever, And Kyle, there seems to be a lot of things going on in Tuscaloosa right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get an understanding because you said to me before that one of the appealing parts of you taking this job was that you wanted to be there for the Nick Saban era and an eventual retirement. However, did you anticipate the retirement would go like this?
Well, first of all, to everybody inside the comment box and supporting the product, definitely hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe over here at Orange Bloods. I've seen these guys grow up since they were a little YouTube channel to where they're going right now. Catch does a really great job. And Anwar crushes it. So we rapped before. Want to have him back on my show as well. So if you're inside the comment box, I appreciate you guys being here. Let's dive into it. I mean, when I first said that I moved to Tuscaloosa, I was kind of always anticipating some sort of retirement from Coach Saban. And I wanted that to happen. And I'm glad that it didn't happen early on in my career. I don't think that I was ready for it. The YouTube channel wasn't ready for it. I didn't really understand kind of the lay of the land in terms of moving to Tuscaloosa and the gravity of covering a team in the SEC. Remember, I'm not from SEC country. I'm now proud to say that I've lived here for 7 years, so I understand the responsibilities of covering a program like Alabama, and it never hits, never stops. And right now we've turned it into a network overnight with our YouTube channel because we're covering historic event. How it went down, I did not anticipate. I kind of saw some foreshadowing during the season when Coach Saban kind of jetted over to the student section, and he kept on thanking fans on the back end of his press conferences. I don't know if there was ever going to be a good timing for Coach Saban to leave. You look at the transfer portal windows and NIL and everything like that happening. And he said in the interview that I'm sure everybody watched with Reese, it was a grind. It was he used the word grueling. And if everybody watched that game against South Alabama or South Florida down in Tampa, it rained and rained and rained. And he was going to the locker room, and AL.com has a picture of him, and he looked like he was 170 years old. It was a grind for everybody. That game sucked. Even the TV broadcast went out. So, and this year was a lot of anxiety, but I didn't anticipate. I thought he would give us maybe a heads up. I thought we'd get a final press conference, and he doesn't owe that to us. He said going into his last meeting that he had two speeches. One was basically kind of get back to work. Another one was to announce his retirement. And I think hearing from Greg Byrne, at some point they knew that it was going to happen. So they had kind of this hour by hour plan of how to attack this. Nobody could just step in and replace Coach Saban. So the timeline was quick. We've been covering the news. It's just been over a week since everything has been kind of released. So Coach Kalen DeBoer has his work cut out for him. There's still guys on the Alabama team that were recruited by Coach Saban. So, okay, the sky came up. Yes, there are transfer portal guys that are going. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Caleb Downs and Caden Proctor, Isaiah Bond, those guys definitely hit. Coach T-Rob coaching the defense, that hits. So there's a lot to dive into, and I appreciate you here to answer any questions or cause or concerns about people watching Alabama and kind of the changing of the guards.
Let me ask you this, Kyle, because from the outside looking in, this almost seems like a failure by Alabama leadership. And here's why I say that. Before, I guess it was this summer, Saban bought a home in Jupiter, Florida for $17.3 million, right? So that you don't buy that home in Florida unless you're planning to retire. And you don't spend that kind of money unless you're planning to leave soon. What I don't understand, Kyle, from the outside looking in, is that it doesn't seem like there was a plan put in place to have a successor for Nick Saban. The same way that FSU groomed it and they waited for Bobby Bowden to leave so they could hand it over to like a Jimbo Fisher. We just saw that honestly with the New England Patriots, right? They have been grooming Gerard Mayo to take over for Belichick whenever they were going to part ways with him. Why wasn't Bama ready to say this guy's in the 70s? He's just bought a home out here in Florida. He's retired soon. Why were they not prepared for this?
Yeah, that's another piece of the foreshadowing, right? Is he just bought a retirement home alongside, some of the biggest names and all of, all the celebrities. Yeah, I think that a plan in place was not there. And I think they were scrambling in a sense. And I have to ask the question, I've asked my channel as well, how everyone felt about Coach Saban not necessarily leaving and kind of maintaining this advisor role and having an office now at the football stadium. Who wants to kind of come into that situation and have, theoretically coach just right there? Now, how they framed it here at Alabama, and yesterday Greg Byrne had an interview on Feinbaum talking about the fact that he's like an advisor type role. But I think Alabama is in reaction mode. I think I'm in reaction mode. I didn't know that my YouTube channel would blow up like it's been. So I think everybody's kind of scrambling. I do feel really good about the head football coaching hire. I mean, Washington was just in the national title game, and not to kind of throw salt at you guys, but he's 2-0 against Steve Sarkisian, right? He beat you guys twice. And that's just, I'm not making that up. It's fact. He's also 2-0 against Dan Lanning, and people feel really good about that. With that said, the Pac-12 is not the SEC. It's a different grind, and Texas is about to find that out, and Oklahoma is about to find that out, and I get it. Steve Sarkisian would have been the dream hire, but that was never going to happen. It was never realistic because of the fact that what he did at Texas, he was able to beat Alabama, was able to take them to the playoffs. He was able to have the first 10-win season since 2009 and pay him whatever he wants because he's doing an amazing job. And I'm a huge fan of Sark. You know that. So coming in with Coach KD, I think it's good. I do feel that Alabama fans have a right to question the defensive coordinator hire. And it is Kane Womack, who's coming over from South Alabama. Alabama also did add Buffalo's head football coach, the University of Buffalo, and that is Maurice Lindquist. I'm sure you guys are familiar with him in the state of Texas. If you guys follow recruiting, did coach for the Dallas Cowboys. So there are some good elements on the defensive side, but they're unproven. Now, with that said, how good is Alabama going to be? I don't know. I mean, they're going to be good. I mean, most of the guys still on the roster were recruited by Coach Saban. So the challenge for Coach KD is to continue to recruit at that highest level. Now, the first guy to decommit as soon as Coach Saban retired was Ryan Williams, the 5-star that everybody's chasing, electric wide receiver. And he's hosting Ryan Williams this weekend, along with several other targets, Jabbar Muhammad, who is also in play for Texas. And you also have Parker Brailsford, who is the center at Washington, coming over this weekend as well. So this is a really big opportunity for him to re-recruit the guys, recruit some guys into Alabama. And I think it does sting losing Isaiah Bond. And I don't like where we're at with when a player leaves, fans are like, oh, he wasn't good. No, like Isaiah Bond was a baller. He is a baller. You guys will see. And the best thing about Isaiah Bond is if you guys ever get a chance to interview him, he will tell you everything you want to know. He's SID's worst nightmare. He will just be like, no, that dude sucks. I don't like that guy. No, that food wasn't good. Your mom isn't a good cook. Like, he's not going to, I love it. He's great. He'll just tell you how it is. He's good. I mean, if they, I think he's 1,000-yard wide receiver, maybe plus. He's a NFL type guy. Kendrick Blackshire, he was in the 2 deep. He wasn't going to be a starter this year because you have Jahad Campbell and Deontay Lawson coming in. But everybody remembers Kendrick Blackshire from those high school photos. It looked like he was going to go from high school straight to the NFL. He is good. You also, I guess maybe Amari Niblack could be in play as well at the tight end position, right?
Yes.
I like his game as well. He was a starter here at Alabama. He's a versatile tight end that I think under the right development could be, a step behind the last tight end that you guys have. Jontavius Sanders, right? That was your tight end?
Jontavius Sanders, correct. Yes.
I loved his game. I thought he was a baller. He's not going to be that guy, but I think in terms of what he can bring to the table, something similar, and he'll get on the field as well. So You know, the Lambo and all that stuff, that's cool. I mean, whatever. It's pay for play now. And if the guys want to go out and if they have a better NIL deal, which I think Alabama is completely on their back about, take it. I mean, coaches do it all the time. I mean, Omar, do you want a salary cap on your job?
Nope.
Don't
Nope.
either. So like and subscribe and follow the show because I'm trying to pay bills over here and I want to take some vacations. I got 2 kids who are eating at Publix, and Publix is the most expensive grocery store. So yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of where we're at.
Blake, we had a super chat that came in, I think, for Kyle. You want to throw that on the screen? Say, Kyle, I've been enjoying your shows in between Orange Blood shows. You've been going 24/7, brother. Blake may want to give you a shout out there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, I think kind of the network overnight was always kind of established. And what I'm talking about is the YouTube channel, which just hit 100,000 subscribers. The plan was in place. The foundation was there. I was having a morning show every single day this season. I'd only get like 125, 150 people on. Right. But now after, you know, kind of the news, we've been humming. And the product is in place. So adding more elements. And of course, we're online. If you want to go over to Bama Football on YouTube, we're tracking, you know, the castle being stormed, the castle burning down or whatever. So if you want to come over, you know, I appreciate you guys. And there's a lot to dive into and there's a lot of questions. But there's still a lot of good players still on the team. And, you know, this is the biggest news that's happened in college football in quite some time. I mean, Coach Saban's been here since, 2006? Alabama fans haven't had to deal with any type of adversity over the last, 10, 14 seasons since Coach Saban has been there. It's always been Alabama's going to be there. And I think that's why it's so gravitating for people to watch as well, because, I mean, Coach Saban's been in living rent-free in a lot of people's mind because, you know, there he is again. And this year when you're like, man, this Alabama's team sucks, they're in the playoffs again. You know, Florida State was like, no. So, you know, Coach Saban, and for the Georgia fans that are in the chat box, I love them. The Texas fans are cooler, and I'm not just gassing them up because they're here on the show. They're actually nicer. They have, I don't know.
These fans love you, Kyle. They love you, man.
Yeah, and I love them too. And I love Texas. Have some family out in Lubbock and in Dallas, and of course being in New Mexico when I covered high school football, southeastern New Mexico, which is pretty much West Texas, part of the Permian Basin. You have a lot of you know, there's a lot of high school football. You guys ever heard of Artesia? Guys ever heard of Lovington? Carlsbad Hobbs is part of the Permian Basin. So I've been all over and I made a lot of good friends, and now I have more friends because of you know, Orange Bloods. But the fact is, Coach Saban's last win ever, and this is going to be hard for Georgia fans to sleep on, is against Georgia. But Georgia fans can point right back and be like, well, we just potentially stole Caleb Downs and, you know, and your defensive backs coach. So kind of always a back and forth. And there's a really good play by Kirby to get T-Rob over to his staff. And Georgia has won their last, 30 out of 31 games. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Tell me, and I know this is you know, Catch and I do a show we call Overreaction Monday, right? So this is an overreaction on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Does Alabama ever rebound? And I know I'm asking you this on January 18, 2024, but does will Alabama ever be the Alabama that we saw under Saban? Is this one of this? It's just history was made and we just should enjoy it because we're probably not going to see that again, because it seems like there may be this is the official changing of the guard and handing the torch over to Georgia, and then with Ole Miss and Texas maybe being able to fight for, you know, a piece of that as well.
I mean, that's a really difficult question to answer. I think that this world of college football completely changed, and Coach Saban retired at the perfect time, because now will be a whole new season of college football. This coming season, I don't know if you guys know, this is going to be like something we've never seen before. You guys have 2 bye weeks. We had 2 bye weeks covering Alabama football. The 12-team format, the NIL, the transfer portal. This is a whole new wave. So I don't know if there's ever going to be able to be a college football team that dominates like Alabama football did under Coach Saban, because there's too much parity now with the arms race with NIL. I don't know if the teams that have the most NIL will climb to the top. The example is Texas A&M. They just got rid of Jimbo, and they could buy every single player you want. So a lot of it is the X's and O's. A lot of it is the Jimmies and Joes. A lot of it is the NIL. If you can wrap that up into one and continue to win on the field, credit to you. It's hard to manage, because if you don't play me, I'm transferring. If you don't pay me, I'm transferring. And I'm transferring just because I'm transferring, because, I'm transferring. So I don't know, if there'll ever be a dominant program like Alabama. I don't know if Alabama will ever be like Alabama football. I would say no, because there's nobody going to be like Coach Saban. I mean, were the Bulls ever like the Bulls after Michael Jordan left? No. Did they have some quality teams make the playoffs? Yes. But, when somebody of that magnitude leaves, that's it. They're gone. And if a player doesn't want to be at Alabama, if a player doesn't want to be like Texas, you let them go. And that's it. And you move forward and you focus on the players that are on your program. You develop those type of people. You don't chase. Like you're grown, Anwar. I'm grown too. One of the things that we learned in life, that there's only so many things that you can control. That's kind of your output, your consistency and performance. But there's other elements out there you just don't chase. And you let those players go. You wish them well. You send out the positivity. And, if I'm Coach KD, it stings, because you do lose Caleb Downs. You do lose Caden Proctor, probably a couple more during this 2-week span. And you kind of roll with it. But Sark is the new Saban. I don't know about that, but Sark is the man for sure. I mean, what he has going at Texas, you guys should be make sure to absorb it. Appreciate when you have a really good coach in there and the good coaching message and what they can do. Texas is at a prime spot. There's not a lot of excuses for Texas right now not to be making, and I don't even refer to it as the playoffs, like the Final Four, whatever it's going to be, because Sark has those ingredients: NIL, the players, the schematics. I'm rocking with Coach Sark, man. Quality coach. I love the rebuild of where he's at in his life, and certainly bringing it with the Longhorns. Everybody at Alabama has a lot of respect for him.
Tell me now your faith level in the board. You did mention him, Kyle, and we always talk about it's always tough to be to replace a legend, right? That's a tough position to be in. It's a no win. If he wins 10 wins, everyone's gonna say it's okay. Anything short of winning a natty probably puts him in a tough situation. You did mention a couple of he's had a little success against Sark, but like you said, it's still got to play against the entire SEC. Your thoughts on him? Not only your thoughts on the hire, I also want to know your fan base's thoughts on it as well.
The fan base is excited. I think that they are optimistic. Look, we haven't even really had a chance to have any type of closing or closure on Coach Saban. It just happened last Wednesday. So fans were really excited when Coach KD came in and landed in the airplane and got off and all that jazz, right? And then on Saturday, he had his press conference, said all the right things, spoke to the media, and his main message was re-recruiting the players. I like his message so far. I like what he's done. He hasn't coached in the SEC. He's not from SEC country, but the places that he's been, he's won. The Washington fans really gravitated towards him and offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. That's probably a name that we should probably be talking about a little bit more, because I think him coming in, he looks like the guy. I think there's like Kiffin up there. There's Sark. Maybe there's some other offensive minds, but I think Ryan Grubb is going to be one of those guys as well. So people are excited about the offense, but the standard at Alabama is defense, right? Coach Saban is a defensive-minded guy. Coach Saban literally coached the cornerbacks every single day at practice. And at the end, we learned that Coach Saban was calling a lot of the defense this last year, probably during, game 4, 5 or something like that. So the standard is defense. And under Pete Golding, Alabama's defense was allowing a lot of points. Some of those, wins where it's like kind of like Big 12 or Pac-12 type, where it's like, 49-42. Alabama fans don't like that. Alabama fans want a staple of a defensive front. So coming in and maybe switching it up from the 3-4 to 4-2-5, I think Alabama fans are curious about the defense. And the defensive backs room got raided. I mean, all those guys are leaving. I mean, you're losing Kool-Aid and Terry on to the NFL, but you're losing Trey Amos, Jake Pope. You're losing Caleb Downs. You're losing Antonio Kite. You're losing Des Ricks. You're losing. There was like 7 or 8 guys that are leaving the defensive back room. With that said, Alabama returns or signed a lot of guys that are very highly rated from the class of 2024 that will probably play sooner than later. But I don't know. I like Coach KD. I mean, got to give him a shot. I mean, just got here. He's just putting together his staff. We don't even know who's going to be coaching like the inside linebackers, for example. So I'm going to just wait for a little while and, kind of get through spring. And spring doesn't even really tell you anything. So, but I will tell you that winning cures all. And the first SEC game that Alabama has is against Georgia right here in Tuscaloosa. So Kirby coming in, he's going to be pissed off about losing last year. And there's a lot to dive into. But look, winning cures all. He's won wherever he's gone. You got to be able to continue to recruit at the level that Saban did. A lot of people talk about work ethic. That's one thing in Alabama and I think in Texas that people respect. Like, put in the work. Coach Saban used to get there every single day at 7. If I'm Coach KD, I'm getting there at 6. Long days. You have a conversation with your wife, with your family. You're like, look, this is the level that we're going at. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. I got to put the work in, because players respect people that work. Players, you got to win over the locker room, and you can only do that one day at a time. Show up early, talk with the players, make them feel important, draw out a game plan on your whiteboards, whatever, have a vision, because Coach Saban certainly did. You look at Coach Saban from just a life coach perspective, he was always on point, never missed, recruit at the highest level. There's a lot of people that probably dislike Saban, but everybody has respect for him because he came with it from an organizational standpoint, and that's why he's the GOAT.
Well, you're the GOAT, Kyle. Tell everybody how they can get all your stuff here. Everybody who's here in the chat, everybody who will watch this on the replay, everyone's watching live. And tell everybody how they can find your stuff, how they can go and support the product that you put out.
All right. So first of all, my name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube, originally from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I've lived in Los Angeles. I've lived in Iowa. I lived in D.C., and now I live in beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I've been covering the Alabama Crimson Tide for the last 7 seasons. I'm not affiliated with, any of the great organizations. So I'm independent. I just work off YouTube. And I like that. I'm built to work independently. So if you want to follow the content that we create, I have a call-in show where people call in from across the country talking college football, Alabama football. You can find it at Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to be here. One of the things that I always try to showcase is being authentic. Just like everybody else on here, I go through stuff. I went through a lot, but I have a really high desire to perform at the highest level. And so, having an opportunity to come on here and to talk college football with you on somebody who I really respect in the game, I appreciate that. And thanks to everybody inside the comment box for the comments. Definitely support Orange Bloods. Give them a like, give them a subscribe, and we'll catch you soon back at Bama Football on YouTube.
Now, and by the way, before you go, Kyle, let me just say this, and I'm not going to spill anything, and we only got about 2 minutes left. But the reason why I want you guys to support him is that Kyle was affiliated with the big names at one point. That thing kind of fell apart, and Kyle has been able to build himself back up, build his brand, and so for all you guys who ever have been kind of at a place where you just don't know what you're going to do and how life is going to go for you. And then you come out on the other side. That's what Kyle's been able to do. And that's why I love him so much. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him, the product that he had, that right on what he's built. Like, I'm like, well, we're only about 80,000 short. I'm like, golly, we're having to hit 18. He like, well, we just hit 100. I'm like, God. Okay, well, sorry, we need you to win. Seriously. And hopefully he does become the GOAT. So anybody, make sure y'all support his channel. Check out. You got some stuff you got going today, Kyle? You got some more discussions?
Man, we're cooking, back at Bama Football on YouTube. And just like Tom G is saying inside the comment box, Publix is expensive. You can't walk out of there with spending like $40. So you got to be sparingly. However, on Wednesday is the coupon time. So last night things were popping as I went in. Today, what we are tracking is kind of transfer portal movement. You have some big visitors come in. into Tuscaloosa to visit with Coach KD. So we got you covered at Bama Football on YouTube all day, streaming, different guests coming in. And yeah, I'm excited to be here, excited to perform at this level. Yeah, I do got a little dog in me, not afraid to work. So we'll catch you soon back at Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate it, Anwar. Thank you very much, man.
All right. Thank you, Kyle Henderson. You guys go support my man, my main man, my brother from another, Kyle Henderson. Boy, a few things in life make me smile. And talking to that man, it just made my day. It made my weekend. In fact, I'm just going to sign off. I don't want nobody else to ruin it. I'm going out on a high note. I don't want nothing else. You guys go support his channel. Share this video with somebody that you haven't, that you like, whether it's a Texas fan, whether it's a Bama fan, SEC fan. Put this on your Facebook pages. Stop talking politics. Nobody cares. You ain't going to convince nobody. Whoever you vote for is who you vote for. Have something that everybody can agree on, some fun stuff like this, right? Put this on your social media. 100% appreciate it. Hit like, hit subscribe. From a main man, Blake. From a main man, Kyle, who's producing. Oh, real quick, Blake, the shows for the rest of the day. Can you put that on the screen for me real quick? So we can let everybody know, that's the Southern thing, everybody know what's going on Thursday today. We're wrapping up the old-fashioned show, House Divided, coming at noon. The Crap Bag at 2 o'clock. The Modcast coming at 4. And the Outsiders tonight. Orange Bloods has got you covered. All right, guys. I will see you guys soon. Remember, I always say, live each day like it was your last, because one day it will be. See you guys tomorrow. Take care. Peace.